Maybe nobody knows how badly you're struggling right now. You still get up in the morning. You still go to work. You still answer the phone. You still smile when someone asks, how are you? And you say, I'm fine. But when the room gets quiet, when nobody is watching, you know the truth. Something in your life is falling apart. Maybe you lost your money. Maybe you lost someone you love. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you failed at something you gave everything to. Or maybe you simply lost yourself somewhere along the way. And now you stand in a place you never thought you'd be. Confused, tired, disappointed, wondering how you ever gonna get back up. But listen to me carefully. You may be down, but you are not out. Because there is a difference between falling and staying on the ground. A difference between losing and giving up. And as long as you're still here, your story is not over. Right now, you might be looking at your life and thinking, this is who I am now. Don't make that mistake. A bad season is not your identity. A failed business does not make you a failure. Losing your job does not make you worthless. Being rejected does not mean you are unwanted. And making a mistake does not mean you are beyond repair. What happened to you is part of your story. It is not the whole story. Think about a storm. When you're standing in the middle of one, it can feel like the rain will never stop. The sky is dark, the wind is loud, and you can't see very far ahead. But here's what you have to remember. A storm can surround you without becoming your world. And eventually, it passes. Life can be like that too. You can be going through a difficult season without being destined for a difficult life. You can be lost without being finished. You can be tired without being weak. You can be hurt without being defeated. So don't look at where you are today and decide that's where you'll be forever. Your current position is not your final destination. You are still becoming, still learning, still capable of changing direction. And that means something important. No matter how far down you feel right now, there is still a way forward. But there comes a moment in every difficult season when you have to stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what am I going to do now? Maybe you didn't choose what happened. Maybe someone betrayed you. Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe life simply hit you harder than you were prepared for. You cannot control all of that. And you don't need to pretend that you can. But you can control one thing, what you do next. That is where your power begins. Because the moment you believe you have no control, you give your future away. You start waiting. Waiting for the right opportunity, waiting to feel confident, waiting for life to become easier. But sometimes you can wait so long, you forget that you were supposed to move. So take the wheel back, not because everything is your fault, but because your future is still your responsibility. You don't have to fix your entire life today. You just have to change your next decision. A better choice, a better habit, one more step, one more attempt. Because a life doesn't change all at once, it changes one decision at a time. So stop surrendering the steering wheel to fear, to circumstances, to other people's opinions, and to the version of yourself that has already given up. Take the wheel back. You may not be able to change where you came from, but you can still decide where you're going. There is something you need to understand. Being down is not the same as being out. Down means you failed. Down means life hit you. Down means something didn't go the way you planned. But out means you stop believing you could rise again. Those are two very different things. If you're on the ground right now, don't be ashamed of it. Everyone falls. The people you admire have fallen too. They failed. They've lost. They've been rejected. They've made mistakes. They've had nights when they didn't know what tomorrow would bring. The difference isn't that they never fail. The difference is that they refuse to build a home on the ground. You can cry, you can grieve, you can admit that something hurts. You don't have to pretend you're strong every second, but don't confuse feeling broken with being broken. Don't confuse losing with being a loser, and never confuse a painful chapter with the end of your story. Because sometimes life hits so hard, you'll wonder if you have anything left. When that happens, remember, you don't have to rise all at once. You just have to rise enough to take the next step. One step, then another, until one day, the person who almost gave up is standing again. And it begins with one decision nobody else can make for you. I'm getting up anyway. Because the moment you rise, you stop letting the past write your future. You may be down, but you are not out. Here's something nobody tells you about a comeback. It usually doesn't look impressive in the beginning. No crowd is cheering. Nobody is watching. Sometimes a comeback simply looks like getting out of bed when you don't feel like it. Taking the walk, doing the work, making the call you've been avoiding, keeping one promise you made to yourself. That's it. It may not feel like transformation, but it is. Because when life has been falling apart for a while, you don't rebuild everything in one day. You rebuild your ability to move forward. One decision, one small victory, then another. And every time you keep a promise to yourself, something changes. You said you'd get up, and you got up. You said you'd finish it, and you finished it. You said you stopped making the same mistake, and this time you didn't. Those moments may look small. They're not. You're teaching yourself something powerful. I can trust myself again. And that is where confidence begins. Not in thinking, not in waiting, in action. So stop waiting for the perfect day. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Stop waiting until you're confident. Start before you feel ready. You don't need to rebuild your entire life today. You just need to know what you're going to do next. Take the step. Keep the promise. Then wake up tomorrow and do it again. Because one good day may not change your life, but one good day followed by another, and another can completely change its direction. Your comeback doesn't have to be loud. It just has to begin. And sometimes the first victory isn't changing your life. It's proving to yourself that you still can. Maybe you're still down. Maybe nothing has changed yet. That's okay. You don't need to have your whole life figured out tonight. You just need to make one decision. Don't stay down. Get up. Take one step, then another. You've survived days you once thought you couldn't survive. You've lost things you thought you couldn't live without. And you're still here. So don't let one chapter convince you the whole book is finished. Don't let one failure define you. Don't let one loss decide your future. Because you may be tired, you may be hurt, you may be down, but you are not out. Not while you're willing to take another step. And one day, you'll look back at this version of yourself, the one who almost gave up, and realize this wasn't the end. This was the moment you got back up. You are not finished. Your story is still being written. Now go write the next chapter.